Well then, let's record. Let's get in the game.
We should be recording now.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah, it's going. You guys can talk now. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, at the end,
You're talking to me?
how far away do you estimate your...
Well, considering I'm not exactly sure 100% where we are,
Are anybody sure we're 100% where we are? Do we have a map of the this
the
region-
overworld?
of this region of the world?
I don't think anybody has a map of this region.
On my travel, do I have... What's the name of your town?
I don't remember what the name of it was. The town of Thistle.
That sounds really familiar.
It's because it used to be in town in Utah, down down Spanish Fort Canyon.
Okay, how far would in my traveling would I have at least seen it on a map somewhere?
Yeah, you may have.
And
Thistle's a big town. It's not even a town. It's more like a city.
city. Okay,
City
so
of Thistle.
so it would more likely be on a map than even this town, since this is a small town, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so if I were to guess how long it usually takes on average to travel between here and there, my guess would be
Considering I'm not exactly 100% sure what the town was that we came from, I know we visited it for a little bit, but it was really distracting.
well, it's a town where I know the bartender that I've been
That's
here
true.
multiple times.
That's true.
So
So what was your question again? I missed it. Sorry.
if I were to guess, under normal travel circumstances, how far is it between this town and that city?
About a day's journey on the road. About a day to 2 days journey on the road, which we're going to have to make some stops on our way.
Okay, and which it will probably make sense for us to stay off road since we're going to be.
Yes. So off road, it's probably going to take a little bit longer.
All right. And it doesn't help that we're on foot right now.
Yes. So my suggestion is if we can find a horse or a horse and carriage, then we can probably get through
We don't
this.
have
in
I'm
any
less
looking
than a
at
day.
him because he can turn himself into a.
I don't
you
turn
can turn
myself.
yourself.
No,
I
I
thought he
conjure.
created.
Oh, he
Yeah.
can conjure one. I thought he
They
said
only
he
last
could
an
turn
hour,
himself
though.
into one.
All my conjuring
An hour
animals
on
only last
horse
an
is
hour.
better than an hour on foot.
It's
Oh
true.
yeah.
And
But
an
we would
hour
need a
later, you
carriage.
can conjure another horse. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we could just, if we find a carriage, maybe.
That's the thing. We need something to.
Let's
Pull.
let's
Because there's
go.
several of us.
Let's go towards the town, that direction. And
Towards the current town?
No. The city. Let's go towards the what is the name again?
Thistle.
Thistle.
Let's go towards Thistle, and when we come across like a farm or something, there's bound to be some type of wagon or something there. We'll just borrow it.
Okay. Borrow.
Borrow.
Did you read my notes?
No. What?
Okay. Okay.
Would you have noticed something so detailed as this? Well, actually, I don't know if you would have noticed something.
I mean, there might be a farm along the way. We never know.
It's just to me, it makes sense that we ought to come across something, and when we do, like a farm or something, we would borrow something.
Well, surprise, surprise. Are you guys going to follow this for a while?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you follow that for a while, and remember, it curves and starts to go back into the town.
Uh-huh.
You continue going this direction, and then start to turn this way, and it opens up into a farm. That's why I said, are you reading my notes?
Farm. Good. Does it look like there are people working on the farm?
It is dark, and by the time you get to that point, it's started to... The sun is past its crest and starting to set again.
Are there smoke coming out of the chimney?
There is a building. There are several buildings. One of them looks like a giant barn where animals may be and things like that. Another one looks like a house. And then another one could be a hen house. I mean, there's several different buildings. We can draw it out in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
get
might
this
as well
off.
just erase
because we're past this. That's funny. You look at my notes.
No, there's no way.
It's just
I can
obvious.
do that. Yes, it's pretty obvious. We need transportation. Where are we going to find one without going to a town? Fine.
Yep.
I can't conjure up a wagon, so. And it would
I
take
thought
a
about
while.
that too, and I couldn't recollect or spell that.
So back
conjure
here,
a
the
wagon.
river moved that way towards the town. It curved. This is like we're really small in it now. And you guys, the scale is really teeny. That river's obviously a lot smaller now.
All right.
You guys continue to walk. So the mountain range moved up to like that, and the forest continued here, and it begins to open up into
Feel.
a field. Yep. And you can see that this area over here is farmland. And there's a building here. A smaller building here. You can see another building offset over here. And then a smaller building here.
Okay.
And you can see several different fields. Rows, you know how farm rows are.
Yep.
Yep.
And you can see along here, let's do this. Along here looks to be a road that heads that direction. There's another road that looks like it heads that direction. You can't really make it out too much, but it looks like there's more farmland back in these areas.
So is this where the cave is, where
No,
we
actually-
came from? Is back here, or
Yeah.
okay?
That part needs to go the other direction.
Yeah, that's why you see me do that. So the scale is way small. Like you guys are dots.
Yes. We're less than a dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's trees and stuff that continue here.
And which direction is this thistle?
Thean says thistle is this direction.
Okay.
And you can see there's still some trees that are. But this is more plainsy area and stuff. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
There are some small streams that come down the mountain. Very small streams that come down
Well, they would have
and
to
then
irrigate
that direction. Yeah.
Irrigation for their.
They're farmland.
And you said it was getting darker.
It is getting darker. You can
Is
see
it
there are
supper
other
time or
there are other farmlands over here as well.
Is there light in like their dwelling area?
So the one
Like-
that you can see,
Can we see?
not very well, but I would say that you guys aren't right here though. You guys have made it past the river to maybe right here where it starts to break,
Mm-hmm.
and you start to see the farmland area.
any lights or any smoke?
So you do see a building. This building right here, you see smoke coming from it.
Okay.
And you do see some lights coming from that building. So smoke and light coming from that far end building.
Okay.
And the main roads are, well, they're not roads, they're dirt roads. Well, that's what all roads are there, but are like that.
It's getting late.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
Only a few hours of daylight and everything. everything. So,
Well,
Very little hours of daylight.
Let's scope out this farm and see if there's any kind of wagon or something that we can use, or borrow, so that we can move a little faster than we are on foot.
Yep.
yep.
We approach with caution.
So where are we approaching?
I think we'll follow the tree line, blend in with the trees as much as we can, and then go this way and examine the buildings here first.
Yeah.
Agreed?
'Cause then there will be the two buildings right next to each other anyway.
I mean, there's gotta be something that we can use.
Okay. So you get to
The barn-like one.
this building right here,
Mm-hmm.
and that building is filled. Or are you going to go into it, or what are you going to do? You're going to try to sneak around it and look around it, make
Yes.
sure so no one's attracting you.
Yes. Can I make a stealth roll?
Sure.
What kind of a building is it?
It's like a barn.
Oh,
16 plus 7.
It's a big, longer one. See how some of them
Oh,
are
okay.
longer?
I have a 23 stealth.
Okay.
I'm trying to be stealthy.
Okay.
My profession, I have specialization in stealth.
Okay. Fluter stealths as well. And he starts to look around. You guys see him stealth and disappear. And he wanders into the barn. And you can see him open the door just a little bit. Are you following in with him? Okay, so you follow in with Fluter and basically kind of by the side of him. And you guys don't know this, so you got to play like you don't know this. Inside the barn, you see all sorts of farm equipment.
Okay, so this is not where they keep the. Are they?
So you see like, tools, and you see like machinery that they use to put the horses behind, like to dig holes.
Are they
Holes.
carts?
Yeah, there's no like carriages.
No.
Is
But
it a cart
there might be
that's
like a cart
like Gandalf's cart?
Yes. There's a cart that's similar to that. That's made to carry supplies and stuff like that, but
Oh.
not a carriage.
That's
We
usable.
can
Okay.
probably use that.
Is it? How hard is it? How hard does it look like it's going to be to get this out of?
So there's a door.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to use red. It doesn't mean it's on fire. So the door you guys snuck into is right here,
Uh-huh.
and there is a door right here as well.
Uh-huh.
So I guess now let's say you snuck into this one. The cart is right at the entrance right here.
Okay. Good deal.
And then the tools and stuff are around and on the walls, and the other farm equipment is there.
Okay. Gonna go back to
That's
the.
like the my cabbages and Gandalf's cart type thing where it just holds. It's like a shallow.
Oh, my cabbages. Yeah, it's not. It's
I'm gonna. Well, it's just gonna quickly examine it. Is it in good condition or decent, workable condition?
yeah. It looks like it's used.
Okay. Going to go back to the group and there is a cart that we can tie a horse to that we can borrow.
Well, let's go ahead and.
That's what this one looks like. Very similar to that.
We could probably pull that out by hand instead of trying to hook the horse up to it. So that we don't cause too much of a commotion. It would be more quieter if we just pull it out.
I've never tried to pull a cart before, so.
Well, they're not that heavy.
But you look beefy, so you should do it.
I'm strong.
Honestly,
I've got
it should
19
be pretty light
strength.
by itself.
Yeah.
I have a 20 in charisma, 19 strength.
Your charisma's probably gone down with all your spell explosions.
Charisma is not just look.
It
It's
is.
the personality.
I know. But a good part of charisma is look.
Yeah.
You cannot deny that.
And I have green
that's why I
hair
have a
and feathers and wings.
That's why I think that's probably gone down.
That's why I chose a 2 on it, because everyone absolutely hates my race.
So it
what
doesn't
col-
matter if it was great or
And
not.
what color is
exactly.
your feather?
White.
Green?
White.
No, I thought they were green.
No, they're white. The hair is green.
Oh, is that what
And
it
you
is?
keep your
It was
feather clean?
they're like duck feathers, you know, like Donald Duck feathers, you know.
Okay. Well, then you might look like an angel, right?
Well, maybe, but I've got like the wings are just like the wings on the model there. They're like demon-looking wings.
But they're feathery at the same
They're
time.
not feathery. They're
Those are
just my arms are feathered.
Oh.
You can see the doors.
I propose that we do an exchange.
Do an exchange.
Yes.
Instead of just taking it?
Exchange for what?
Yes. We could either hunt and kill some animals, and not the farm's animals, but like wild animals that can be.
That would take time. That's something that we.
Do you
don't
have gold?
I have a
No.
little bit of gold.
Hardly.
Hardly, yes,
We
correct.
spent a lot of ours.
Getting weapons analyzed that we no longer have.
I have after the weapon analyzing, I have 3 gold, 43 silver, and 32 copper.
I got
So
you.
we could probably give him like maybe a gold and 50 silver.
That's a lot. Gold is a lot.
Maybe just I mean,
How much gold do you have?
Huh?
What do you think the cart's worth? I think the cart's worth, at least 75 silver.
After the gold that I spent in that bar, I have 28.
Holy shit.
Dude, I'm a royal assassin.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a lot richer than I am.
Apparently.
They'll be gone soon. Gold in D&D never last. Isn't that
We
true?
would have more gold had we gotten that treasure.
Anyway, I'm.
Who knows what we would have got from there? Other than the bracelet.
Aren't you a hunter?
We can trade the bracelet.
Aren't you a hunter?
Yeah?
I mean, you should
I'm
be
a
able
ranger.
to. You should be able to. I mean, we're just by the woods. You should be able to like hunt and kill some animals without any issues, right?
Well, there's probably rabbits and squirrels around. We can give them like a bunch of those.
So are you guys having this conversation out in the open?
Where are we?
Whatever we decide.
I want
we
to
need
know what
hurry.
you're doing.
We are outside.
I'd like
You
to
are
know.
inside.
Yeah. So what's the deal? Did you go see that and then you came out and talked to them and asked this conversation?
Yes, that's what I said. I went back to the group
Okay.
to tell them what we saw, and then I'm not a thief. I don't want to steal it.
Well,
but
whatever we
I
decide, we
believe
need
in
to
fair
hurry.
exchange, and if we have the intention of returning it, then
Well, offer them a gold for the cart.
man, that's a lot. Gold, man.
Ask what they would want. Why don't we just ask what they want?
Because I don't want them to know we're here. I was planning on just leaving something here in exchange for
Well,
taking the car.
We'll just
Leaving
leave 'em.
just a bunch of
Let's
dead
leave 'em
animals?
just
for,
50.
I don't know.
No, we could skin the animal first and then hang it there.
We're pressed for time, guys.
Well then, okay, I'm just gonna,
Give them 50 silver.
okay. Let's do that.
Let's just give them 50 silver and be done with it. Just leave it in a basket in the barn or something and say, just
And
thank you.
Right
Leave a note.
right where it was.
Leave a note. Scratch a note in the dirt and say, thank you. We had to borrow your cart. And then just leave it at that.
Some money for your troubles. Or inconvenience.
What is that?
You guys hear that?
Farm animals?
No, a door.
Oh, was it a door creaky? I thought it was like a...
Oh, door closing. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's coming
Well, we're
from
far-
the house with the light. Which
Roll a d80
the 80?
or a d20. Sorry, d20. Sorry.
Oh, I'm like
D80?
D20.
I'm like, there's a D100, but not
18.
Okay.
20.
oh
Very
my
good.
Gosh. Watch me get a 9.
Okay.
That's like one of the first
20s
20s
you've
I've
ever rolled.
ever gotten.
Too bad.
Ever.
Too bad it's not for anything really
I know,
important.
no shit.
Okay. Okay. The wind has been. It's windy outside right now, as you can hear. You can hear the wind is opening and closing one of the doors. You can hear it creaking.
My gosh, that's a long creak.
Alright.
Well,
It could be attracting something.
I think we should get out of here. I think we leaving it with it how it is.
What are you doing?
Brayden, can I have some of your e-juice? Mine's about ready to...
Go for it.
What flavor is it?
Mixed berries and lime.
Oh, good, because mine's grape. Grape jelly flavor. So it'll go with the fruitiness.
I will never get a grape flavor ever in my life ever.
Well, they're good.
Sorry, which
Where I
direction
got
were the
mine
sound
was
coming
good.
from?
I don't like grape flavors. I've had like 3 of them, and I don't really like them anymore.
Okay.
The last one I got was cotton candy. That
Where
was
am
okay.
I?
It wasn't the best, but
With the group.
I like the grape
Uh-huh.
better.
Okay.
I've always liked
Never
grape.
mind, I have 3.
Ooh, that
I'm
smells
gonna
good.
peek in. What was that roll for?
Remember, mine's a 3.
You don't know.
Okay. I'm going to.
Mine's a
I just
12,
wanna
so
see how
just
noisy
mix
you
in
are.
with mine.
That's what that roll
It'll
was
make
for.
it a 6.
If
What?
you want my honest
What
opinion.
roll did you get?
20.
What roll did you get?
9.
I wanted to see how noisy you guys are being. That's why I'm asking you questions. I want to know how noisy you are.
All right.
I'm not even really moving, and I still rolled a 9 for noise.
You guys are talking though. Out in the middle of someone's barn where their lights on and they're awake, obviously in a house.
I'm going to peek back in.
Okay. Are you stealth?
Yes.
Okay. You look in. You don't see anything right off the bat. You don't see anything around.
Okay. Okay.
Get out of here. Just like that, because I'm a 9.
I'm gonna peek around. Then.
Let's get out of here.
Are you going to go around the building or are you going to go throughout the building and search in every nook and cranny?
No, I'm not gonna go around the building. I'm not gonna go inside, search every nook and. I'm just.
Tell me what you're doing.
Let's take the wagon and get out of here.
What are you going to use to drive
Let's
that
not
wagon?
overthink this, guys. Let's just...
Guys, get the wagon out. I'm gonna go leave.
I can pull it by myself.
Get the wagon out. Conjure the horse. Get it ready. I'm going.
So
go.
you're going to start to pull the wagon out?
Mm-hmm.
Roll d20. Not to see if you can pull it out.
15.
Okay? You're helping her? What are you doing?
Am I?
Assist, and that will increase her success rate. Usually in D&D, when you assist somebody's
Might
action,
as well.
Just don't fail.
just don't fail.
roll.
Watch me pull off one of the handles.
That's the wagon failing, not you failing.
That's me failing and it failing. Yeah, 2.
So you trip or something.
I can pull
I'm
it
making
by
so much
myself.
noise.
I'm strong enough.
What's your strength?
10?
10? Okay, so you have average human strength.
I have like superhuman strength.
I'm just, for some reason, I'm making
Was that
the most
foot?
noise.
Okay. And so I investigate that sound.
Is that
Go
more than
towards the
one?
sound.
Is that more than one? Can we hear it? Does it sound like more than one?
It's
or
still
just
coming
one?
from here.
I go towards the sound.
Okay, you go towards the sound,
Yes.
and you notice the door is creaked open. This door is open as
Uh-huh.
well. This door is open as well as
Uh-huh.
that door is open. And she's pulling it out,
Uh-huh.
and you
I'm trying to find the farmer.
you come across a gentleman
Mm-hmm.
with a pitchfork. You can see him,
Sir.
and he's sneaking around the corner.
Sir, I mean you no harm.
And he backs up and he pulls the pitchfork, and you see he's a little bit of an elderly man, and you see two other men come around with pitchforks as well. What are you doing on my land?
I'm here to pay for. Here to make a purchase.
Get off my land, my property. What are you purchasing? This ain't a place to buy stuff.
I am in.
You guys can slightly hear him talking now.
I'm
You're
in
talking.
need of a transportation, and I'm willing to pay you good money for it.
Are you still in my wagon?
I'll walk
If
around.
I'm stealing your wagon, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you.
I'll walk towards these guys.
And I reach out and get 2 gold out. This is a lot for me
I
to
know.
farm a wagon.
You're paying me 2 gold for that wagon?
I'm paying you 1 gold for the wagon and 1 gold to never tell anybody about it. You think you can live with that?
Turns and looks at his boys. They put their pitchforks down a little bit.
That's a fair
What's going to
exchange,
take
sir.
you? How are you going to drive that wagon?
We have our own horses.
Okay,
But if you have horse for sale,
I do have a
Okay.
horse for
Ooh.
sale.
That's a
It's
lot
going
more
to be more than
convenient
a
than me
little bit more
conjuring
than, a little
them.
bit more than 2 gold, but I'm willing to work for you. Seems that I'm a reasonable man for a pair of farm thieves.
again, there's no thieving going on here. Name your price for the horse.
It's an honest trade.
You guys are going to walk around the corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around the corner
They
using
they all pull their
my
pitchforks up
lady
again.
charm.
Sir, again, we mean you no harm, and we're not stealing. We're just pressed for time. That's
The
all.
green hair and wings.
Sure wish you'd have come knocking on the door. My wife's in there making dinner. I'd invited you in.
Freaking knew it. Should have just asked him.
Sir, we don't want to put you in unnecessary danger. And us staying here may result in that.
Don't.
Allegian walks around the corner and goes, "Yes, I would. I apologize, sir, sincerely for our mistake. We were in a hurry. We mean you no harm. We just needed some transportation, and in our apologies, we'll be willing to offer you 3 gold for a horse and the carriage." The farmer puts his fork down and says, "Y'all look like you're hungry. Why don't you come in? Have yourself some stew. The missus has made some stew and some bread. And you can have the wagon, and I'll give you 2 horse."
I'll give him an additional gold, so 3 gold. for the
We're willing to
transaction.
pay you for your trouble.
I have minus
Sir.
3 gold and 25.
Thank you for your hospitality, by the way.
Okay, so you guys end up walking down here. He walks you into the house,
I appreciate the offer.
and he offers you a seat at the table. His wife kind of looks up and says, "Honey, what is this?" And he goes, "Don't worry, Margaret. These guys are these are good people. I've invited them in to have some supper with us." And she goes, "Okay. We haven't had company in a long time, so pardon the mess."
Are they human?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're human.
Just making
Well,
sure.
we really appreciate this.
She puts down a bunch of bowls for everybody, and she puts a loaf of bread on
Can
the
I
table. And
can I assist you in any way, Margaret?
if you guys would like something to drink, if you wouldn't mind grabbing some of the cups and filling them up with some water, I have a bucket of water over here.
Oh, sure thing.
So she shows you the bucket of water that's on the table, so you can kind
Yep,
of
I'll go ahead and serve out the water.
and stuff. And she serves up the stew. It smells refreshing. It kind of feels relaxing to finally get a little bit of the stress out, I imagine. The farmer guy sits down at the table with his 2 boys, and they break the bread and start to eat some of the stew. The stew is really rather delicious.
What kind of
Yeah.
stew is
It is a beef stew
it?
with vegetables and
Yep, having a good meal
Potatoes
is a
Fresh vegetables in a
celery. Yeah, it's really a good stew. It's a thick stew. Dipping the bread in it.
stew. Wow, this
We
stew
thank
is
you for
amazing.
this
Thank
delicious
you.
meal. It sure is a
Delicious.
morale booster.
Yeah, I sure wish you guys just would have knocked on the door. We're generous people. We just... Farm's been suffering lately, though. Just wish that
How
the
so?
sun would come back. It's hard to grow crops in this.
And
Luckily,
I put
luckily
my head
potatoes are
down
easy
and-
to grow.
I put my head down and just, kind of in a somber
What
way.
are you guys in such a hurry for that you couldn't knock on the door and at least talk to me before you decided to do such a thing?
Well, we're headed towards Thistle.
You're headed towards Thistle? What's in Thistle?
Family.
Oh, family. Yeah.
Trying not
Most
to
of my
say too-
family's here on the farm. But I wish y'all the best of luck. It's a dangerous place out there nowadays. I know the city's swarming with dark elements and stuff. We try to keep our business out of the city as much as possible.
I'm gonna find a time after all this, after things have wound down, and to talk to Legion in private.
Okay. So you guys help yourself to stew and stuff like that. And the farmer shakes the Legion's hand and you guys' hand. You guys make some casual conversation. Tells you about how his life has been tough and things have been rough around the farm. But he's happy that he doesn't live in the city and on the outskirts of it, because we've heard life's been even worse in the city. That the cities are getting ransacked with not the best of people. So, okay, so you guys finish your meal.
Well, thanks so much for the food.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You
Delicious.
grab a Legion to the side, and he goes, "Yeah, what's up? How can I help you? What's going on?"
On a side of caution, and I really don't want to get them in trouble, do you know of a way of removing parts of a recent memory? I don't want them to know where we're going in case they have their question. If when they're questioned they have no answer for whoever's questioning them about our whereabouts, then they might be safe. But even if they share information, I feel for their life and ours too.
I do have
Maybe a potion or
a potion.
something?
Yeah, I do have a potion. We could thin it out with the water. The potion is made to wipe someone's memory for a long period of time. If I thin it out, if we can get some water, I can thin it out and we can just give it to them in a cup. We can help thin it out and then it'll wipe their memory from the last couple hours.
Okay.
So,
Gonna obtain the water, and I'm going to sit down with the farmer and his family, and I really appreciate what you are doing. You treating us to the meal, taking us in. I know you're good people. Problem is, they're bad people after us, and I don't want you.
why would bad people be after you?
Bad people because we're trying to stop them from doing the bad things.
Okay. I understand. So that's why they're all secretive.
Yes, and to protect you and your family.
We'll be quiet. We promise. We'll keep our mouths
My
shut.
fear is they might, because they're bad people, they might do things to you to force it out of you.
Are they coming here?
We don't know.
They
But
may
just to-
question you, and I may have said
And-
a little too much.
To do so, the only way I can make sure that you and your family are not in danger is we have a way of removing just the last couple hours of your memory, so you would never even know that we were here. You would
So
forget
we
about this
wouldn't-
encounter, and when you don't know, you're in the clear.
You're saying I won't remember you, kind folk?
Yes, but we will remember you, and that should be enough.
And one day, when this is all over and everything's back to normal, I will repay you for your troubles.
I'm sure to come back in this direction, so
I'm sure you are.
I'll definitely see you again and be like, we were the ones that gave you the 3 gold for that.
Let me talk to my wife about it to make sure
No
she's
worries.
okay with that. I worry about the magics. Is that what you plan on doing, casting a spell on us?
It,
We took you in, too.
and I'm trying to do what we can to make sure you guys are safe after we leave.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want any harm for you guys either.
Let me talk to my wife and my boys. He goes and he grabs his family and they start talking and his wife starts crying. And the 2 boys comfort him and he kind of bends down and looks at his wife. They come back to you and they say, gosh, whatever you think is necessary, we just don't meet many kind of folk in this area. And you seem like a nice group of people. And we wish you the best in your journey.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll meet again.
Don't worry, even though she looks more scary than I do, I'll be back. I'll definitely I'll remind you of how things.
And then I'll have,
Oh.
with Legion's help, distribute a correct amount of the
Legion
diluted potion.
Legion does like a couple drops in each cup and hands them to you. And the farmer grabs it and he says, "Is it painful?"
You won't remember a thing.
Martha, this won't take my memory away further than the last hour or so, right?
Right.
And he drinks it. And Martha just looks at him. And
Thank
she
you.
starts to drink her cup. And the 2 boys drink their cup. And they look at you, and Legion kind of just stands over the edge and and looks at him.
We should get going
And they fall asleep.
before they
Mm-hmm.
awake.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Okay, let's go and hitch up the horse to the wagon.
Horses.
2 horses.
We got 2 horses.
2 horses.
Yes.
So you find that the barn here has all the farm animals. The horses, there's a bunch of horses in there. There's some goats and some pigs and stuff in some of the troughs. And then you can hear chickens and stuff in this one when you check it out. That's like the chicken coop. So, okay, you hook the horses up to it. Up to the wagon. I imagine you pull the wagon right up to here, hook the horses up, and then you get on the road. And
Yep.
This is the direction you need to go. Okay, you start going,
Yep.
and it's nighttime. So, how you want to do this? Thean says to follow this road for the next probably 2 or 3 hours, and then there'll be a V that comes up, and you need to turn left at the V. And then you'll go for another couple hours, and then there'll be another crossroads where it comes to going a straight, a right, or a left, and you want to take the right. So Thean says I'll stay up to the first V, but all you guys are tired. It's night again, right? And you guys really haven't
So
done
we need
much
to make
sleeping.
a left at the V, and then at
Right.
the crossroads.
Right at the crossroads. And then he said, if you follow this, the road will get turned into a main road, and you just stay on the main road. So Thean kind of gives you guys the instructions because he says he's exhausted and wants to sleep. Remember, Thean was tortured a while ago and still needs rest, and so is the Legion. Legion's like, I'm gonna take some rest. I'm gonna lay back here.
Yeah, let's
If
pull
you guys
some.
want to take some turns.
Yeah, let's take turns resting up a little bit, and we'll just switch around drivers and stuff every hour.
I also only need 4 hours of sleep to get a full rest. And
Okay.
It's meditation, not actual sleep.
Okay, so who's taking the first watch?
I'll take the first watch,
Can't you get away from
and
meditation?
I'll drive.
You'll drive. Is there someone that's going to stay up with you, or is it just going to be you
Who
and
wants
everybody
to-
else sleeps?
Who wants to stay up with me? Because we'll need at least one other person that can be a lookout. Because
That's true.
I will stay with you since your vision is limited at night.
Yeah, he's got good vision at night too.
Yeah.
And then he can take the next.
and then we can switch off.
Yeah. We can overlap it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll with you for 2 hours, and then you go to sleep, and then you with me for 2 hours, and I'll go to sleep, and
Yeah,
then
we'll just do that.
You're with
Till-
whoever's next.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bean or Fluter or something.
So you go for the first 2 hours. You're traveling the road. You travel through various plains and stuff, and as you go through, you see various houses off in the distance, and you don't see anything that looks too out of the ordinary for the most part. And you approach your first
V,
V. In which direction do you go?
the left.
Left.
Okay. So you turn left and you follow that, and 2 hours are up.
Okay. Why don't you? What's your character's name?
Glow.
Glow.
Pelly. Oh, you're Glow, yeah.
Why don't you
And
wake
then-
Glow up and then go get
Glow
some
wakes.
rest?
Glow wakes Pelly.
Oh,
Or Pally.
Pally. Why don't you wake
Pally
Pally
or
up?
Calicos. I finally remembered it.
Pally.
Why don't you wake
Like
Pally
this.
up and go get some rest yourself?
Okay.
It is an E.
I'll
by
crawl
way.
in the back
Spelled.
and then wake up Calicos, and then. Okay, it's your turn. Go ahead and.
So you guys travel for several more hours, and you get to a point where there is a crossroads.
On the left.
Let's go right.
Okay, good. You guys write it down and pay attention. I want to make sure you do. Okay, so you can make a right, and you continue going in that direction, and the road starts to become more of a mainstream, bigger road. It almost, you can tell that it's a lot more traveled, and it's now 4 hours later.
I'm going to go wake up the next person.
You wake up Fluterflan or Thean or Allegium.
Fluter.
Okay, you wake up Fluter. Fluter goes, oh, already, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, Fluter
Okay.
be the lookout.
So Fluter goes and he gets on there and he gets the horses going.
And I go meditate.
Yes, and then another 2 hours happens.
Might as well get Thean up because we're probably. Oh wait, no. Yeah.
Yeah, you get so you go get Thean up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he can be the lookout, and Fluter can drive.
Yep. So you go to bed.
Yeah.
So Thean and Fluterflan are up there talking, and the road begins to turn into a cobblestone road, more of a paved type of road. And at about an hour to 2 hour in, you reach the city of Thistle.
That was fast.
Yeah, you guys probably went a lot faster than walking. The horse was probably going 3 or 4 times as fast as it would have taken you. And it took you, I would say, what did that take you? Probably about 12 hours, maybe?
Roughly.
Yeah, roughly
10 to
12
12.
hours. So that would have taken you a day to two. Well, it would have taken you 2 days if you'd have slept, because you'd had to sleep. You can't drive with people sleeping. So it would have taken you 2 days to get there.
Yes.
So you're in the city of Thistle. You enter the city,
Okay, anybody gonna
and-
wake us up?
and
still
Thean
asleep.
and Fluterflan reach back and whack the back of the Hey guys, we're here. We're in Thistle.
Oh,
I'm heading straight for the temple.
oh,
Thean
okay.
says, and he
I look
starts
around.
taking the the carriage to the temple. And as you guys look around in this city, you can see the remnants of the city being ransacked and decimated. Buildings are destroyed.
Is the
You
temple
can see
still standing?
the temple is still standing. Do you remember what happened the last time you were on your way out of here?
Mm-hmm.
It was under siege. The whole city was under siege. There was a war that happened. You can see many of the buildings have been burned to the ground. A lot of them are war-torn. The temple has had some damage to the grounds, but you can see that there are several priests and paladins outside putting it back together again. As you pull up into the temple grounds, the gate has been broken down. You can see the gate has been broken down and is in pieces on the side, and they're starting to put things back together again. And Theoden comes in, pulls his horse around to the side, gets up, gets down, and he bends down and puts his head in his hands. And he looks up, and you can see tears are coming down his eyes, or down his cheeks.
I put my hand on his shoulder and
I left my
said,
city in this time
I'm
of
so
need.
sorry.
My people. And you can see there are several freshly dug graves off to the side of the temple grounds. And he's like, my brothers, my people. And he gets really emotional. He's like, okay, I need to go in and see how things are in this temple. So he marches into the entrance, and there are several people that run up to Theon, and they hug him and hold and grab him, and several of them are women priests and stuff, and he holds on to him, and he turns to him and says, I need to see my brother. Where's my brother at? And the priests get eerily quiet. And he goes, hey, have you guys seen my brother? Do you know where he's at? And one of the women priests busts out and starts crying, bawling, openly, sobbing. And he's like, what's going on? And they say, and one of the head priests, one of the head paladins walks up to Theon and puts his arm around him and says, come with me. And you guys are kind of just in the temple grounds,
Mm-hmm.
kind of watching this happen. And he walks Theon off. And Theon walks off. And the Legion looks around, and some of the other head priests and a paladin walks up to you guys and says, welcome, children. How can I help you?
How can we help you? Looks like you're in need of help.
Any help would be appreciated. Mainly what we need is a good, strong hand to help us put our temple back together again and get this city moving in the right direction.
Yeah, how can I help? Because I'm pretty strong.
Yeah, I don't even think I know what happened. I don't think so. It was different now.
Many, almost about a month or so ago, our city was under siege by what we've come to know as the Dark One. He had invaded and specifically set out to attack this temple in a point to destroy our knowledge of ways to take and defeat him. Luckily, the city is strong, and we lost a lot of people and a lot of men, but we were able to drive them back, at least for the time being. It has only been within the last couple days that they have not been around. There's been much destruction that's happened in our temple grounds, many a death. The city is burned for the longest period of time. It feels like war lasted far too long. But things are starting, it appears, to turn for the better, because they've left us for the time being. What are you here for, my children?
Well, we need. I've been here before.
You look familiar.
Yeah.
Are you friends with our brother Theon?
Yeah. Me, myself, and Allegium.
Allegium,
We were
Allegium
here
is kind of there with you.
A few weeks ago, seeking information for the Dawnbringer.
You are
And
here
we
for
were
the
able
reason
to.
The city was under siege.
We were able to collect one of the relics, but we need information as to the whereabouts of the other two.
What relic do you have, my child?
The Ring of Seleucus Strife.
So you did. May I see it?
Yeah, I pull it out of my satchel.
The priest grabs it and he says, "By all means, this is truly the Ring of Seleucus Strike. Are you on the quest to put the Dawnbringer again together?"
Yes.
Oh,
So
Theon,
we are at a loss. We don't know where to turn next.
Praise to the gods. Praise be to the gods to the
We
end
were
of this
hoping-
nightmare.
We were hoping that you would know the information as to the whereabouts
So
of
there
the
are
other two.
still 2 more pieces to this.
Yes, we
Is this
need
the only one you have?
Yes.
Uh-huh. We need the dagger.
You need the dagger.
The dagger of two Thanes, and the ring of Lightbringer's vapor.
Yes. You are after the ring. And the dagger. Let me consult the books, my friends. Give me some time. Let your friend Theon rest with the news he needs to bear.
Yes,
Did he
we
lose
appreciate any
his brother?
information.
In the siege?
I don't know that it is my place to tell you, child.
Is his brother gone?
From what we can tell, his brother may still yet live, but he is not amongst us.
So he's been taken.
Unfortunately, during the siege and in the battles, he was grabbed. We no longer know of his whereabouts.
I start putting my head down and I start crying.
I'm going to go find a restroom.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit in one of the pews and because the weight of what I have done to all these people
It's starting to grow
can't-
heavy.
yeah, it's weighing heavy on my shoulders.
Yeah. So
I will just go sit down as well.
you sit down with her. Fluter Flan looks around and he's like, "Oh, Theon, I'm so sorry, man." He feels so bad. And he goes and he's like, "I'm gonna see if I can go comfort Theon." So Fluter goes to walk off because Fluter Flan and Theon are kind of good friends. Several of the priests come to you and say, "Is there anything, any food or anything to drink that I can get you guys? You look like you're a little worn from your journey."
Yes, I'd like
You can see a lot of the pews have been tipped over. You can see some of them are busted and damaged. You can see where part of the cathedral ceiling has been broken open and the stone is all over the ground. Pieces of it are on the ground from when they catapulted like trebuchets.
yeah.
And you
if-
can see
if I
several
remember
of the
right,
glass-
there was that big creature inside.
Yeah, you remember that? That you guys had to leave in the midst of
Mhm.
that fight and it catapulted through the ceiling. You could see that where there was blood and stuff like that, where they probably killed the creature and had dragged it out of the building, and a lot of stuff. There's You can see there's a lot of priests that are picking up stones and trying to clean up and fix things and make things better. Thean, I'm going to wait before I do all the rest of this.
Mm-hmm.
But the priests come out to you, and they bring you some water, some glasses of water, and they give you some water. They hand you guys some water, and Fluter Flan comes out with Thean. They both begin to walk down kind of the center of the pews where you guys are sitting. And you can see in Thean's eyes that he's just been crying and crying. And he looks at you guys and he says, the suffering has to end. There's so much pain and suffering. They've taken my brother. My brother is missing. During all the commotion and everything and all the fighting, my brother was taken. I don't know if he's alive, if he's being tortured, what's going on. But this has to end. We have to put an end to this.
I
Cannot live this way anymore.
I look at Thean and tears are streaming down my face, and Thean, I'm just feeling so guilty right now.
It's not
all
your
of this-
fault. This man was alive for so long. We should have destroyed him when we had the chance. And now he's become stronger than ever.
But it is my fault. If I hadn't have been so arrogant at the time and tainted the light being Nim,
Don't
we
feel
wouldn't
like
be in
that.
this mess.
I don't blame you for that, though. Legion puts his arm around you and says, it's okay. Everything's okay. We'll finish this. That's what we need to do. We need to finish this. And the first step is finding that ring.
Wait, the ring you have?
We
No,
need the
there's two
dagger.
rings,
We
and
need a
There's two rings
second
and a
ring.
dagger.
Your dagger?
It's like
Yeah, we need 2 rings
like a-
and the dagger.
Ringed sword.
Question.
Ranged dagger.
Sorry to interrupt. What happens after we find the 2 rings and a dagger?
We have to go to the Dark Brothers' fortress and kill him.
What do we do with the 2 rings and a dagger?
Put it
Basically,
together.
Put them together and
Makes the Dawnbringer.
cause.
Which
yeah.
is a dagger with 2 rings?
It needs to be so there. You have to put it together, and then it needs to be purified, and then. So this is out of character. Or are you asking in character?
I'm actually in character. Yeah.
Okay, then Dr. Her. She should know.
What needs to happen?
Now we need to, once we get all of the relics, we need to put it together and then have it purified
Here.
here. And then once it's completed, we need to go to the Dark Brothers' fortress and kill him
With it.
with the Dawnbringer.
So the head priest comes out and he says, I've protected these books for such a long period of time, and he's got a book and he's looking through it, and he says, so the ring of light bringer vapor is no longer known by that anymore. That name is not what it is known by anymore. It has changed. The ring is now known by the Ring of Ashdun because it has been corrupted.
The Ring of Ashton.
Ashdun.
Doom.
Yes,
Mm,
Ashdun. It has been sullied by dark blood.
Ash. Doom.
It's corrupting its true powers. It is currently its last known location was in the Temple of Maranuk.
Maranuk.
Maranooke. Maranuk. Okay?
Mhm.
You need to go to the temple. And you need to take it off of... Let me see if I can find his name. Give me 1 second, sorry. You need to take it off of a man named the Dane of Spike. He has a cultist group that that worships the blood god in this temple, and he uses the ring's power in this temple. You need to get the ring back from him, and then we can purify it and in the temple here and convert it back to the ring of Lightbringer vapor.
And then where's the dagger?
The dagger we don't know where their dagger is. What we believe is that a man, a collector, by the name of Orda Noigel, is said to have it. Ordannoigel. Orda Noigel. He is said to have it. He is said to have the dagger. He's a very wealthy man, and he is a collector of antiques. He is the one that is said to have the dagger. So you guys need to collect the dagger, and you need to...
And where is this Orda Noigel?
Noigel? He lives in a town that is far south of here. The town of Misty Fellows.
Misty Fellows?
Misty Fellows. It is a very small town. Orda is a very wealthy man in this town.
Okay.
Okay? Now, in order to get to the Temple of Maranuk, there is a forest that is to the east of here. It is the forest of Havana. You need to travel through this forest, Havana, and you will also need to travel through, after you exit the forest, you will need to travel through the plains of Lerwick. Lerwick. The plains of Lerwick. After going through the plains of Lerwick, they're in kind of a valley at the base of the mountains. The only way through is to get through this area. You have to travel through this forest and these plains in order to get there. What happens is basically there's this mountain, and the forest is in front of the mountain, and where the mountain kind of V's is the plains are located in there, and then at the edge of it, you will enter the town of Char. And at the edge of the Char, town of Char, and then finally, you will find a desert. In the center of the desert, you will find the Temple of Maranuk. The temple looks very Egyptian. He kind of describes to you how the temple looks, and in describing it, looks very Egyptian. Is how his descriptions are. It's very almost like Chichen Itza kind of ish, Egyptian-ish, I guess. So more not Egyptian, more Mayan. Mayan, not Egyptian. It looks very Mayan. Okay? The Temple of Maranuk. There are blood worshippers there. You've got to be careful. The temple is very dangerous. Every man, every adventurer, every solid person that has ever tried to go to the temple has never returned. Okay? So
they sacrifice people.
Obviously, they
It's a
worship
blood-
stuff, so
yeah, blood god.
I wish we had
makes sense for it, Mayan.
large, awesome
Mayan
egos
look.
that can just take us there and then take us back. And also kick everybody's ass.
Well, if I can learn
I
how
can
to
summon
fly.
a giant bird for an hour.
So Theon's hearing this, and he's like, Theon goes, okay. That forest. I know that forest. I grew up in this area. And the elder priest closes the book and he's like, I wish you guys the best of luck. And he walks up. One of the other priests comes up to Theoden and says, I'm so sorry for your loss, Theoden. And Theoden goes, he's not gone. He's not dead. I refuse to believe he's dead. My brother would not die like
We
that.
don't know until we get there.
And the priest goes, yes, Theoden.
But
Yes.
your brother would just have to wait a little longer because we can't go to him without getting these parts first.
I know.
Yeah.
I know that. I know
So
that.
we'll have to endure.
And the
for
priest comes and says,
couple of
so what do
months."
you guys, what does your journey consist of now?
We
And
have
Theon says, well, looks like we're going through the forest. And the priest looks at him and he says, you're really going through the forest, Theon? And Theon goes, I know.
we're
I
gonna
know.
do this.
And the priest begins to tell you a story about the forest. Begins to say, the forest of Havana, believe it or not, guys. And Theon starts storytelling you about this forest a little bit too. The forest of Havana is what its actual name on a map is, but we don't call it that. In this town, we call it the Forest of Lost Oaks. And there's a reason why we call it that. We call it that because in this forest, there is a banshee witch. She lives in this forest. And the banshee witch wanders the forest at night when it's dark. It's dark all the time.
And
She wanders this forest, and there are several other lost souls that wander this forest. Theon says, you know, that's funny, because I remember as a kid, we used to have this almost like a rhyme we used to chant when we were kids, just to kind of scare us and spook each other out. And we used to say, the forest before us, beware of her chorus. The witch that's in there, beware of her stare.
what does her stare do?
Theon goes, I don't know. We never went in there. As kids, we stayed away from there. Our parents always kept us from there, and I just remember as kids we used to just say, the forest before us, beware of her chorus. The witch that's in there, beware of her stare.
So she sings, she stares at you.
Probably a petrification thing, just like the whole Medusa thing. And then the Banshee specifically is known for their chorus stuff, for their screaming and all of that stuff. So, usually drives people insane or to them.
A glow, right?
Yeah.
Are we supposed to kill the Dark One with the dagger? Is that so? The dagger is going to kill the Dark One.
Mm-hmm.
The dagger gets imbued with the source of light, and the only way to fully pierce... Theon begins to tell you the story. The only way to fully kill him is by stabbing him in the heart with the dagger, and it will infuse his heart with the light, which will permanently kill him.
And right now, he's too powerful.
And what happens when the Dark One's dead?
When the Dark One is dead, we will use the dagger and its source of light, because it will no longer be blocked by the Dark One's power, to cleanse
Yeah.
Nim.
So Nim
So we
is
stab them both.
the god of light. Is there a god of darkness?
He's not a god.
Well,
he's
he's
a
It's like an element.
He's like a...
An
He's the
element.
So is there an element of darkness then?
There probably is. She doesn't know the answer to that, though.
It would make sense. I mean, she summons fire elementals.
I'm just,
Like, I'm sure there is.
Theon starts laughing and says, "That's just bizarre. You know, I remember the things our parents used to tell us about. You know, the plains and the forest. For so many years, I used to believe them as tall tales, and now I'm actually going to go in there, kind of frightened to say the least. People would go into the forest and never come out again."
Let's do it. Sounds like fun. We kind of have to anyway, so...
sorry with all these questions, but I have another question. Your town is where we need to come back to have the items purified and then form the dagger. Right?
You'll put them
The
together
complete
and
thing.
then
Dawnbringer.
join into become...
And it has to be done here.
Yes.
Cannot be done anywhere else.
Has to be done in a temple.
And you were under siege.
Because they knew, the Dark One knew that.
And they've been gone for only a couple of days, but chances are they're going to come back again.
Yes.
Are you in any shape to defend? Because I don't know how long this journey sounds like it's going to be very difficult and takes a long time to do. Is there going to be a temple to come back to? Do you have defenses for a second wave and a third wave of attack?
So we dealt them a pretty hefty blow the last time they were here.
Uh-huh.
That we send them retreating. Honestly, they could come back, but we don't know. What I could say is that you could take this book to help you perform the rites, but you need several priests and people there and the correct
Incantations?
incantations and
Holiness.
chambers and everything in order to do it. It can be done at another temple, but my concern is, and the head priest has walked up and he's talking to you about this. My concern is if I give you the book with a bunch of the rites, if that gets in the wrong hands, then it's gone forever. So I feel like it's best guarded here.
Okay.
Are we able to copy it down?
Sometimes you need the books themselves to actually run the incantation from.
I just don't like that people, whoever created this in the first place, had to make it so difficult for you to do these things.
Well, originally the Dawnbringer was always whole, but there was an individual who took it apart. He stole the dagger and broke it into pieces so that it could never be used again. And for numerous years, we'd never needed anything like this. So it was never a concern of ours until the darkness came and had never experienced anything like that before. And the only thing we can find in order to push him back to permanently put an end to the Dark Brother.
So who do you worship?
Who do we worship? We worship the Mother Earth and the goddesses of light.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong. Num is the
Nim.
Nim. Nim is the element
secret
of
Is
light.
an element of light,
It's
yes.
like
Element
Secret
of
of
Light.
Nim with the little rats.
Yeah, NYM.
NYM.
Okay, but the Dark Lord, your brother, and I look at
Theon.
a Legion.
Oh yes, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
The
Yeah.
Dark Lord is your brother.
Yes.
How did he get so powerful?
When we were born, it was a rare birth. You see, my brother is actually my twin.
Okay.
He is my twin. We were a rare birth. And for many years, we had a natural inclination to magic. And we studied under some of the most powerful mages. My brother always had the inclination to study some strange rituals, which our teachers always liked that he was so powerful. But he always seemed starved for power because, you see, I was the firstborn and he was tired of being second. So my brother, he was determined to be more powerful than me.
And learn different art.
And he started to delve down a different road. He started to delve down the world of necromancy and evil magics. And when our teacher found out about this, he kicked my brother out. And that's when my brother, he burned the school to the ground. And ever since then, I've never really spoken to him very often. I only hear about him in whispers, in the shadows.
Would you venture to guess that your brother is in the power that he has now because the element of light is weakened?
What I believe is that my brother has struck a bargain with the god of darkness.
Uh-huh.
And for the longest time, every day when the sun came up, he was always pushed back, pushed at bay. Father, the god of darkness is always pushed at bay by the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And when the light was corrupted and darkened and blackened, the sun stopped coming up.
So do you think your
Light.
brother should die?
My brother is only after power.
That's not my question.
And I would like for him to be pure. And I don't know if we can try and save him before. I'd like to try, but in the end, if that's what needs to be, then that's what needs to be.
Well, so I see this as a classic dark versus light, the balance. And I see you as the opposite side of your brother.
My brother seeks me out, and the reason why he seeks me out is I hold a half of him. Remember, we were born as twins.
Right.
And he feels that there are things I can do for him. If he imprisons me and he sucks away who I am, he will become even more powerful. He seeks my magics, and he seeks my alchemistic charm, so to speak.
I just like to think maybe there's another way. I mean, you corrupted the light. Can we uncorrupt light?
I mean, it was decay, but I'm sure that's why the Dawnbringer can help, because it is the dagger of light or whatever. So
Well, Nim is has been captive by the
So
Dark
if we
Brothers,
somehow, if we free Nim and we restore Nim, then we can restore the balance, right? My only fear is that if we kill your brother, then we actually tip the scale to the other side, where instead of restoring the balance. You know where I'm getting at?
Mhm.
Yes.
You
but-
move it too far one direction.
Yeah.
well,
That's why I
let's-
asked if you think your brother needs to die.
I would like to see him purified, but I don't know that it's in my brother's heart.
Well, I don't think your brother needs to be purified. I just think he shouldn't be as powerful as it is now. I think we need to take away that power and restore the balance versus.
Well, the Dawnbringer, if you stab him in the heart, it doesn't exactly kill him, right? It purifies him with light.
Which, if he's darkness, it would probably kill him.
True.
I'm pretty sure whenever you stab a dagger into anybody's heart, you pretty much kills that person.
Probably.
Yeah.
Theon steps in and says, I don't care what it takes. He's taken my brother. He's killed so many people in his wake. Does he deserve to live?
I mean, in that sense,
Because
I agree with that.
he's gonna, want to come back to power again.
Yeah, his
and-
mind is still going to be that way. His want a need for power.
Because it's not necessarily the dark brother that would, because there's something behind, if there's a light element, there's a dark elemental too.
Right, and
But it's
right
not
now,
the dark brother.
From my understanding, you've weakened the light element of light, and that's why the element of dark is able to be so powerful. But I think why don't we just then try our best to restore the element of light, and in a way restore that balance, because you can't have. Just as like when the sun rises and people work, when the sun goes down, people rest, and you can't have. You want to have both. You want to have a balance in life.
Well, I agree. But as of right now, this is the only way we know how to defeat him.
Theon takes his sword and slams it on one of the pews. Bam! He needs to die! He killed so many people! He did so many wrongs! This is coming from a paladin, mind you, right?
Yeah.
He's all about the holy.
And he's all about the holy and the light, and he doesn't care about balance. He could very well have killed my brother.
Dan, you are right. I do get
Flutterflan puts his arm on him at the end. It's okay. It's okay, man.
I do get the
And
point.
Theon starts to walk off.
Let's just focus on one thing at a time and focus on the relics that we need to
because we're gonna need the
retrieve.
Dawnbringer.
We're gonna need it
fix
anyway.
Nim anyway, right?
Is that going to fix Nin?
The Dawnbringer can
The
purify
Dawnbringer
him.
will fix Nin.
Can purify him. Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's part of the prophecy.
All right.
So we at
So-
least need to get it no matter what.
One step
I'm
at
on
a
board
time.
with fixing Nin.
Let's just do one step at a time.
Remember, his alignment is true neutral.
Yeah.
Your alignment's fluctuated a little bit, but he's kind of true neutral.
I just show regular.
True neutral people have been known in the middle of a battle to switch sides.
And I'm
I am just neutral. I don't.
and
have
I'm
a true
chaotic
neutral.
neutral.
So you're more evil. You're on the bad side of things. So why do you care that it's going bad?
Yeah.
Because I was.
Because you did it and it's affecting you.
I think
and
you're more
everyone else around
chaotic
you.
good than chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Is that what it? Are you really seriously saying it says chaotic neutral? Unless it's changed.
Well,
I think
it
you're
was
chaotic
evil. It was evil at one point. It was
I think it's
more.
I
of
think
a-
you've turned more chaotic good. If you're in there crying because Theon's brother has been taken, and you
Mhm.
feel guilt, you're probably more chaotic good than you understand.
I just want to fix this. I want to be able. Well, I can see in the dark anyway, but like, I want it to be more balanced with more sun and
Right
stuff. I
now,
like the
instead
whole
of the
woods
scale
and
being
everything.
like this, the scale is very much like this.
Mhm.
And he's wanting to get it more like this.
Yeah.
And if you kill the Dark Brotherhood, he's worried that it may go more like this.
Right.
which is the opposite of what it is now, and we don't want that either.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
So there's options. You're not to those points yet.
Yeah.
You can make those decisions later, or you can make them now, and it can
Man,
affect
we're
the
only
outcome
having
of
this
it.
conversation because I would like to know where you guys stand on things. And I think I have a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I get your point in not having to kill the.
I mean, you're a Typhon.
Yeah.
He's more chaotic, evil,
Yeah.
I am
or
the
neutral
odd
evil.
one.
Yeah,
I am
neutral
the
evil.
I'm the odd one.
Yeah, but that makes him still. If he wants a treasure chest, he'll kill everything to get it.
Yeah.
So killing those dire wolves is not so. Even though, I guess the wolf thing, because it's
Kinda
nature,
gets to
he's
me.
more okay with that. But if there were humans there, he would have.
Oh no,
more wolves.
absolutely. Kill them all. I want that loot.
And he is about the loot. I can hear it all the time.
This is, we have an odd group of people trying to restore light when.
Well, there's too much darkness.
Right, and so let's do that. let's
Let's get
go
the
and-
Dawnbringer. Let's at least save Nim. That's at least the ultimate
I just
goal
want to
anyway.
rectify and, you know,
Right your
my-
wrongs.
Yes.
Right the wrongs that you've made.
Yeah, she feels guilty because the world is probably at this point thousands and thousands and maybe tens of hundreds of thousands of people have died because of this.
I just think
She has killed
The-
me.
She's been to the future when it's gone from right now to this
Uh-huh.
to this.
I just think his brother is just staying in care. He's doing exactly what he does, and it is in fact the rest of the world's fault in a way, because
He's
we're
saying
not-
it's your fault. No.
is that we're not doing enough to just restore that balance, and so let's go ahead and restore that balance.
Yeah. I mean, we could try to fix Nim with the Dawnbringer, or break the
Let's
Dawnbringer.
get the
I mean,
Dawn-
chances are none of us are going to live to see that day anyway. But
Let's get the Dawn.
I have one last question, and I'm sorry about all my question. You said once you traveled through time,
Mm-hmm.
and you've returned from the future to now
The
Present.
present.
to
Yeah.
present. So, which I didn't even know time travel was possible,
It was odd to me too.
but
It was odd
a
to me.
fluke.
too.
It was a fluke thing.
it's happened,
Mhm.
and it's happened more than once.
You haven't told him the story.
So why can't we look into ways to
So
Go to the past.
go to the past?
pause really quick. Pause really quick. I have got to use the restroom. Do you want to continue the story? Just tell him the story as long as you don't. Make sure you're not doing something to continue. You can tell him the story, but don't do anything to continue moving this ahead without me being here, obviously, because I have to
Yeah.
control
Right,
things.
yeah.
So I need to go use the restroom, though.
Yes.
So we can keep recording and we can keep going.
Yep.
I just need to keep using.
We're not leaving the temple.
Yeah, you guys are just,
just
talking
having-
and telling
yes.
the stories. Go ahead. Tell them the story, Steph. I have got to.
Well,
If
how
you
I
need toilet
I
paper,
do.
yeah.
It's in here?
Yes. Do you see them?
Yep.
Right.
Thank you.
how I was able to travel through time was a fluke thing. There was
Once a fluke, twice it's intentional.
okay.
Well, the second
Um,
one definitely
yeah,
was
that.
There was
intentional.
a crystal necklace that a particular mage of the he was on the side of the Dark Brother. It was a dark mage, and he had this blue crystal. There was two of them.
Okay.
Two of these mages that I had fought with, and he had conjured a lightning storm. This lightning storm ended up hitting the crystal by bouncing off a dagger that Fluter Flan had thrown, and it hit the crystal, and I was able to defeat one of those mages, but I put the because I noticed that they were pretty much like phasing in and out. They were blinking
Okay.
in and out, and so in order for me to, after I defeated him, I looted that crystal, and then
You were
the,
one of the two crystals.
one of the two crystals, and the second mage cast the lightning storm, and then Fluterflan went to go kill that particular mage, and in doing so, lightning struck the dagger that was in midair, and it hit the crystal
you're
instantly
wearing.
that I was wearing. It cracked the crystal, and I was transported forward in time, and I saw Fluterflan disintegrating before my eyes. He immediately turned old, because it fast forwarded through time instantly, and I ended up 1,000 years into the future,
Okay.
and everything was pretty much desert. Everything was decimated. And I met up with a gentleman, an older gentleman, and I just all of a sudden landed unconsciously. He found me, and eventually I was able to return back in time
How did you do that?
by getting the crystal repaired.
Okay.
We were able to find some kind of a laboratory
Mm-hmm.
because the Dark Brother had was able to achieve immortality, and he was still alive. He was reigning, and he was, in control of everything.
So you've seen the future where he took
The world.
my body and gained immortality.
At
Pretty
that
much.
point, she didn't know.
Pretty much.
That's disturbing.
And
news.
we were able to get the crystal repaired
Mhm.
and get me back in time
Okay.
to the present. And in
And how just by simply having the crystal repaired?
well,
you were
there
able to
was
travel back
there
in
was
time?
there was a little village that this man was from that had found me,
Mhm.
and he had there was a shaman of some sort
Okay.
in their village that knew of some magic and knew of some of these things. And after we got the crystal repaired, I was able to
Use the crystal. You were able to use the crystal.
yeah,
So
they were
you
able
know
to
how to
devise
activate
a
them.
machine that focused like some kind of lightning energy back into the crystal, and it could only happen once, and I was able to be transported back into the present.
And what happened to that crystal? that you
It
had?
dissipated.
It shattered.
It shattered?
cracked and shattered when she got back.
So, we know of at least one more crystal in existence that can do that.
Where do you know of one more?
She said there were two.
There were two mages, remember?
Two mages, two crystals. She
One
took
of the mages
them.
I defeated and was able to put the crystal on. The other mage,
It was
Cast-
shattered.
the other mage cast the lightning storm, and
Both
then when
crystals were
Fluter,
Both crystals were destroyed.
Yeah.
and then when Fluter, threw the dagger and it bounced off the dagger and hit the crystal.
And shattered it.
Okay, so,
So both crystals.
if those crystals had existed, time-traveling crystals existed, then couldn't we investigate that path and find another time crystal and then
I
go
thought
back
about
in
doing
time
something
and-
like that, but it was very risky going.
She actually originally did try to go back past the original point
Mhm.
of entrance. But what she had done is she'd fractured a hole in the space-time continuum
Mhm.
when that lightning struck, and that was the only way in and out, that point right there.
Okay.
Yeah, and there ended up being time rifts.
It created a time rift that she watched in front of her as the shockwave hit, and basically
So you've closed that point in time, basically, from time travel.
and then both crystals were destroyed. Yeah.
What if-
Unfortunately.
What if we travel further ahead and just wait for it
From
to
this
happen,
point?
and then we can stop you
No.
from damaging the element of light, and then we wouldn't be in this situation to begin with.
Travel further ahead?
Yeah.
She's already damaged the element of light to be in the past, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, further in time, back in time, further back in time.
How would you do that?
Huh?
with no crystals.
It'd be a paradox in
Find
general,
another
even if you
crystal.
had one, you couldn't actually stop it from happening.
Don't know if there's any more in
It's
existence.
not possible, technically.
Well, if
Right now, no.
if what you say is true, then any of this that we're doing now will be pointless because she's seeing the future, and in the future, the Lord of the brother
So
of
what-
darkness
what-
has achieved
She wasn't there
immortality.
in the future.
Yeah, so what's happened is it took her out of the timeline. When she traveled into the future, she disappeared from the timeline, and her absence from the timeline resulted in the Dark Lord being successful in
None
the
of
mission.
this would have happened.
Correct. None of what's going on right now would have happened because she was taken out of that timeline.
Okay.
So when she came back, it put her back into the timeline, thus changing the timeline to be
So you're
a possibility
the
of
key-
changing it.
You're the key to not repeating what's already.
Her actions are the key, and maybe her action in saving Allegium, or her action in saving you, or her action in recruiting him. Any of those actions,
Because she said that in
That
the
she
future
has
that
done-
she saw, the Dark Lord has achieved immortality.
absolutely,
And
he has
I've
those-
assumed that, which means the Dark Lord has defeated me
absolutely
and taken me as a
and
host.
probably done a many of
Yeah.
other things. And her coming back in time, back to where her absence was, has made it so that you weren't defeated because she was at the battle and helped make that succeed.
Mhm.
And made it so that Allegium was freed, which he wasn't before, which has also changed the timeline. So any of those actions could be the result of him and his defeat. You don't know. He could still win. You don't
But
know.
in actuality, time travel, you can't go past the point of actually starting time travel, which would make sense
All right.
behind it.
Well,
you can't go
then-
further back because that wouldn't make
High
sense.
priestess or high priest? Is it high priest or high priestess? That's
It's a
been-
high priest. It's okay.
High priest, please do whatever you can to restore and strengthen your defense. So in case there's another invasion, we will return with the dagger and the other ring. We will need you to restore them and to the whatever it's called.
Is there anything that
Gods
we
be
can
with you,
do
my child.
that to help for the time being while we're here until because I suppose we're gonna rest for a little while
There's labor.
here
You can do labor.
and
Um,
help you
Theon, you see Theon fumble around in his
And
little
help.
satchel, and he pulls out the bracer and goes, "I wonder what this thing does."
That's true.
Well,
Oh,
we
wasn't
can
it Fluter
Are
that
you-
that
found
identified?
What was that?
do we?
wasn't
does
it
have
Fluter
writing?
that found the
Or that Fluter. Sorry, Fluter was the one fumbling
Yeah.
through
Do
his
we
bag.
have? Is it specifically have writing on it, or is it the same? Can we?
It is
Is
magical.
it? I know, but is it the same type of gems as the sword that we have?
There are gems on it. They don't look identical to the ones that you
We
had
should just
before.
have it identified
Okay.
by a professional.
Yeah. You can see there is inscriptions like on the inside of the bracer, not on the outside of it. But it's ornate with beautiful gems and stuff on the bracer.
But it has like a rainbow aura
Yeah, it has a rainbow aura.
for it.
You see several different colored gems on it.
It just looks shiny, magical and shiny.
Yeah.
what color is it? Is it gold or is it
The bracer itself is a bronze.
Which polished bronze looks just like gold.
Yes, it's very similar to gold. Absolutely. But this is not a polished bronze.
Oh.
It's very tarnished
Okay.
because it's been sitting in a chest probably for
100 years?
long time.
Well,
In a
it's
very
magical, so it's probably in
moisturized
better shape
cave.
than it would have otherwise.
Correct.
Surprising for a moisturized cave that it didn't just.
Because it's magical.
That's true.
The task at hand. Retrieve the 2 remaining items.
Yes.
We need supplies and we need preparation for our journey.
Yes.
And I think the time is of the essence. We don't have time to stay here and as much
Put
as
the
we're
temple
like,
back together.
Yeah, put the temple back together.
Because all that's going to happen is you're going to give them time to come back and destroy it,
Yeah.
and you've moved no further on your quest.
And we have a brother to save.
And Theon really is wanting to. He's itching and raring to go and get this done. He's marched out of there, you know. He was angry when you were talking about not killing the other brother. Because he seeks vengeance.
Divide and conquer.
Do you divide and conquer in town?
I will go get supplies, including going to a map shop and get proper maps for our travel, and get supplies for our road.
The only thing I've
So
looted and all the money
rations.
that I've put into it was to the other person. So,
You don't have any money.
Allegium, is there
I'll help sweep them.
any type of herbs or anything like that you
So
would
I am
need
going
to
to
collect?
go. In this city, there were some great herbs that I gathered the last time we were here. I am going to go off and pick up some more vials and some more water that's been purified and more different herbs, and going to spend some time concentrating and putting some of my potions together again. Because as we have moved on, they have become thinner and I have not as much as I used to have.
Yeah,
It-
that's what I figured.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you grab a vial potion from that battle that we were in, where you freed me, where you rescued me?
Oh my gosh, yes.
A vial potion.
Potion that those dark guys were drinking.
Oh, I don't remember, honestly. I don't recall.
Well, I grabbed some loot, but they just had a little bit of gold and
No, I thought there was a guy who was about to drink a potion, and then
yeah, but it was like
we
that
shattered
vial
that.
Oh,
Oh,
I
potion.
found. I was gonna say I really don't recall her grabbing one of those. I
Yeah, it
don't
was
remember that.
like that vial potion that caused the cocoon and
Yeah,
you know all this stuff.
The green shimmery one.
Yeah,
the one
Yeah,
that started
yeah.
tearing out. And
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't want that.
No, I was.
Nah, his
Somehow.
arm got cut off.
Oh, you're right. Right.
I cut his arm off.
Uh-huh.
and then it fell down and shattered.
I know.
Somehow I want to say that you try to grab it before it shattered, but okay. Good deal. Supplies, direction, and
I'm gonna help
what else do
clean
we
up.
need?
You're gonna just stay and help me.
Yeah, I don't know what
Put
else
some-
I can really do, and I don't know how welcome I would be.
Thean actually is going to. He comes up to you and he says, you know, my apologies for outbursting,
You
but
don't need to apologize.
I just feel that the Dark Brother has caused so much pain and suffering to the world that he needs to pay a certain price, and maybe that price is his life.
I'm just worried that by taking him out, there's just going to be somebody else that takes his place, and
Well, if there are some other things that we can do that maybe does something else, we can think about that for the time being. For now, let's stock up and let's journey. Are you with me?
yes, we're with you.
Okay.
Fluter.
Fluter, you see Fluter's kind of he's looking around the church and stuff like that.
Let's go get that bracer identified.
Ah. Yeah, I like that idea, Fluter says. So, Fluter, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go and see if there's any kind of like shop that has maybe some potions or anything that is useful on our trip.
Okay. You're gonna stay at the temple and clean. You're going to buy rations and
I'm also
stuff
gonna go
like
to the
that.
bathrooms.
And pay
Get
for
the-
the bracer to be identified.
So,
Yep, and Thean is also going to stay at the temple and clean and work to repair it.
Alright.
Okay. So, are you going to a potion shop specifically? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. Let me see what I can find, and I'll tell you what's at the potion shop. So you walk into a potion shop. I can only do you one at a time. I can
Yep.
only go through and
Good deal.
do one at a time. So take this moment while I go over this with her. Give me just a minute. So you find a potion shop that's close, and the shopkeep says, "Ah, a customer. How can I help you?"
Yes, I was wondering if you have any type of potions that I could purchase, and
yes.
do you
Welcome to my potion shop. I have lots of potions that if you would like to look over them, we absolutely can do such. Let's see what I have here. Give me 1 second. I wish the potions were more accessible. I have several things. I have several different potions, and I have different powders if you'd like to look through them. Let's see here. Here is what I have. This is a list of all the potions that I've got. Mind you, I am one of the bigger potion shops in the city. Some of the potions have different ranks, and when you see a potion, I can tell you what rank of potions that I actually have.
how much are your potions of healing?
So, I have the potion of healing, and that one is 10 silver. So,
Okay, I'd like to get 3 of those if I can.
Okay. I also have a greater healing potion. That one is worth 75 silver. And that is what I have in stock. So you want 3 of the potions of healing?
Yes.
Okay. You can see what they do if you like. So that will be 30 silver, please.
Okay, I hand you the
30
money.
silver. And you minused it out of your inventory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you added the 3 potions of healing.
Okay, and then how much is your potion of poison?
The potion of poison. The potion of poison goes for 50 silver.
50 silver.
Yes.
Let's see, how many silver make 1 gold? Is it 100? 100 silver make 1 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be easier just to make it hundreds.
Yeah, I will get 1 potion of
Poison?
poison.
Okay. I'm almost in need of one of those.
Almost going to need one of those?
I'm almost. Not quite, but almost. Oh, are you going to give me one?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir.
We'll just grab another one.
Thank you. I've got more of them.
Okay.
I have some licorice if you'd like some as well.
What is gaseous form?
How cool is that one? That one is very rare.
I have a spell for that one though. Now, do you buy items like herbs?
Yes, we
and
do.
such?
We are of interest of herbs, yes. Are you done looking at our goods?
Yes.
Very well.
I have the following herbs. I have 4 mushrooms.
What type of mushroom? May I look at them?
Let's see. I don't know. It doesn't say what type of mushroom they are.
It's because you don't know. You're not a herbologist really yet.
No.
So you just have a mushroom.
I do have some clover leaf stalks. I have 6 of those.
Cloverleaf stalks. Can I take a
And-
look at the quality of them, please? 6 of them?
Yes.
Okay, it looks as though you have 4 that are in excellent quality. Cloverleaf stalks go to sell for 10 silver apiece.
Okay,
I'm willing to buy the 4 that are of your excellent quality. The other 2 that are of not as excellent quality, I'm willing to depart with for 5 silver.
Okay, I'll sell all 6 of them.
Okay, that gives you 50 silver. Sorry, guys. That's how this works. There's only one of me. You're cleaning. You're doing your. You're helping sweep up the mess. Take stones out and put them out there. One of the guys asks you for some help with one of the gates. They're helping you put the gate. You're helping to put the gate back up and put everything down. And Theon's there, and he's out of his armor. So he's a big buff dude. You see Theon is built like he is buff, and he's you can tell he's pushing himself hard. He wants to get this thing going. He's trying to occupy his mind to keep it off of his brother. You can tell he's upset about that still. So,
Yeah.
as anyone would be.
Yeah.
And I also have 4 white leaf.
Fort White Leaf, what?
Just white leaf.
Can I take a look at it, please? You're scribbling all these out. That you're taking them out of your inventory when I take them, correct?
Yep, I'm erasing them. as I can. I might have to borrow this array for
White leaf. Oh, okay. The white leaves are a little bit more rare. I'm willing to depart with each of them for 20 silver apiece. If you're willing to depart with them for 20 silver apiece.
Yep, I will sell all of them.
All four
to
of them?
you. Uh-huh.
Okay. He gives you 80 silver. You are going to go to the town area and buy some rations.
Place an order for yes, rations and yeah, that kind of stuff for our
Rations and water, I imagine. And
Right.
what other things are you looking for? So how many things of rations do you want to buy?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people for. This seems like a long journey that they've described. Enough for 6 people for 2 weeks.
Wow. So he says about 10 rations
Okay.
per person.
Okay.
So you want 60 rations.
Mm-hmm.
Rations are going for a silver to 2 silver apiece, I guess. I don't know. What do you think of common? I'd say a silver apiece. So 60 silver.
It's expensive. Okay. And we need equipment for lots of water containers. We're traveling into desert.
I have many flasks or water skins is what they're called. Sorry,
Okay.
water skins.
Water bladders.
Water bladders, yes. The water bladders go for 25 copper apiece.
Okay.
How many would you like?
How big is a water bladder? How much water does it hold?
Probably about that much of a cup of it, water.
How big is that? A liter?
It's 30 ounces.
Okay. 30 ounces. Man. Need 12 of those.
12 of those, okay.
Okay. How much is that?
And then you
It's 2
took
silver
60
and
silver.
copper. Wait, no. I lied.
How many copper did you say it was? 20.
25 copper. Give me a second. 3 silver.
3 silver.
So 3 silver for the water bladders,
And,
and 60 silver for the rations.
okay. So that's from the the food area.
Yeah.
We also need equipment for desert travel. Like,
So are you just going to go get regular apparel? Or are you going to look for enchanted stuff, magical? So minus that, will you minus that from your inventory?
yes.
And then you can add your rations. Go ahead and add them. I'm fine with that.
1,
Are you going to go look for
2,
potions? What are you looking for?
That was 63 silvers, right?
It was
So
63
I
silver.
have 37 silver.
37 silver left?
Oh, if I give him a gold, then I will
Oh,
have
okay.
37 silvers left.
Yes.
So I subtracted the gold, but then now I have to add silver to my pouch, or to my money. Oh,
Okay, and then I have one more item that I'd like to sell to the potion
Okay.
maker guy. I have one giant purple fur.
Purple fur? Where'd you get that from?
I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember either. What type of fur is it? Because I really don't know.
A giant purple one.
Is that from what animal, I guess? I don't know.
Purple fur is a plant. Like a
Oh, a plant. I thought you were like saying a purple animal fur.
no,
Is that what you
no,
thought
no.
too?
I
It's
thought
fur.
fur, too.
That's what-
F-I-R.
Oh,
Not-
F-I-R.
Yeah, not F-U-R.
Okay.
I was like,
That's why I was like,
when did you
where
get a
did...
pelt?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. When did you become a Skinner? Because
No.
I would have probably had
No.
you fell on that every time you tried. Because you have not proficient in that at all.
Oh, it was in that one forest with the werewolf because I was collecting herbs and stuff.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have
That's where you
one
ended up
purple
getting
fur.
Yeah.
So he looks at it and he says, this one looks a little bit more rare. I'm willing to depart with 50 silver for it.
Okay. I'll go ahead and sell it to you.
Okay. So you came across with some pretty good money. Okay. What are you after? So are you going to go to... So not Theon. Fluter Flan is with you. Allegium has wandered off and done his own thing, by the way. He's on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He's a loner, kind of. I'm sure you know that already. Fluter Flan is with you.
Magic shop.
And you guys are going to the magic shop to give your praise. So you go to the magic shop, and the first guy takes you walk in the door, the bell rings or whatever, and he goes, "Ah, gentlemen, how can I be of assistance?"
Fluter, show him what we have.
Ah, are you here to have something appraised?
Part of it, yes.
Okay. Fluter pulls out the bracer, shows you the bracer, or shows the gentleman the bracer, and the bracer looks at it and goes, "Ah, magical items. My favorite. Let me take a look at this. Seems most amazing. This may take me a little time to examine.
How little time is a little time?
I would say possibly a day.
Okay, and how much would it cost?
Let's see. Ooh, such marvelous craftsmanship.
Oh, don't give me that. It's rusted. It's old.
Is that what you're going to say to him?
Yeah.
But it is something I have not seen in at least 100 years.
Okay.
It has to have been around. Hasn't been around for at least 100 years. The maker is Elven,
Okay.
but I am unable to understand it, and will have to make out the script, and not many people in the city speak Elven. So
I speak Elven. I'm elf.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's one of your things. So, but you don't understand it. You don't, honestly, you don't.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see. I would say to appraise this item would cost 30 silver.
Okay. And I will take a day?
And that will take a day.
Okay. Can it be faster at a higher cost?
Faster at a higher cost. That would require me to not attend my shop and sell things. I don't know if you could afford that.
Oh.
It may go as high as 75 silver.
What a bargain.
Okay. Let's do that.
75 silver.
75 silver. However, could you give us a discount if I purchase items from your store?
Yes, possibly.
Okay. Good deal. I'm going to browse around. Do you have anything that's good for Desira's environment?
Let me look and browse my affairs. Give me a moment. I will go look. Hold on 1 second.
I'm going to browse over to the magical item.
You're
Shop.
coming to the same shop as him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And while you're at it, we need something that can deal with Banshee.
Ghosts? Are you seriously thinking of journeying through the forest near here?
Oh, we're not seriously thinking we are journeying through.
Oh dear. I will see what I have in my wares for you.
I like this guy. I'm not there, but I like this guy.
Brayden, do you want some ice cream?
Yes, why don't you two go get some ice cream?
Yeah.
I am going to need some time to look through this.
Okay.
So I am going to stop the recording while you guys get ice cream and do this changes while I try to
Yeah, I gotta
find
go to the
wares for
bathroom,
you,
too.
okay?
Yep.
Just give me a moment.
Okay, let me help you guys.